Boy, did I catch a purry furry kitty today. Nothing like meditating with your pet on your lap. So today's first note to self, don't ever run out of allergy medicine ever again. I realized I'd been squirting this nasal spray allergy medicine and it probably had been empty for, I don't know, 2 months. And it was like, no wonder it wasn't working. Anyway, off to the store to get allergy medicine today. There's an interesting line, I'm sure we've all heard it from World Wisdom, and we hear people throw it around a lot. Usually when things are, we're up against large challenges or big dreams or whatever, and it's with God, all things are possible. It's an interesting thought, isn't it? With God, all things are possible. It also seems to be the case that with men, all things are possible too. By this I mean, and the general theme for the week is our capacity to engage in endless, infinite glories, and then also almost endless, infinite ignorance and silly human stupidity, if you know what I mean. It's, with humans, all things are possible, and sometimes it seems as though nothing is too bad to be true. We get up and we look at the news, and there are things that are unspeakably unspeakable. I mean, we don't have to elaborate this, but school shootings and childhood disease, and it's like, I guess with God, all things are possible. Look what happens. But perhaps it's important that we remember that depending on where humans aim their attention, anything is possible, and this means whether it's moving up the scale to the heights of esoteric glories or down to the depressing, demoralizing bottom of human capacity. And this is true of the collective, isn't it? This is what humans do, and they've been up to this sort of mischief for a long time, and yet we are capable of great glories. There's no doubt about that. We are a valuable species that has done amazing work. But of course, our focus in our meditation and our spiritual practice is on our individuality and our individuation, our ability to engage these spiritual ideas, principles, and practices to make a personal difference and that great upward sweep that we're all looking for. So with God, all things are possible. So today I would invite you to consider this scenario. If you suddenly willfully decided to engage in bad behavior, say you decided to start stealing and cheating and lying and talking behind people's back and operate in nefarious fashion, do you think that you would suffer a consequence from it? Just ponder that. It's like, you're at Macy's and there's that handbag and no one will see it, and it's actually okay to shoplift nowadays apparently, and so you just put that little $4,000 bag in your bigger bag and off you go. And so do you, in your heart of hearts, how long do you think that would last? This is an absurd hypothetical, but I think if you're on this call, you know how quickly that would collapse. You know how quickly the karma, the rebounds of the universe would be on us. So we don't do that. Now, here's something that I find very fascinating is that, but what about the other side of the scale? If with God, all things are possible, what happens if over an extended period of time, we truly do cooperate with the universe? We truly do engage the highest that we know. We truly do clean up our behavior and begin to act in accord and in principle, and we follow the law. We follow the spiritual law. We don't break spiritual laws. And it's as if some people believe, well, yeah, I'll do that, but I don't know if anything really good will come with that. So in your heart of hearts, ask yourself, does the principle work both ways? If I know that by engaging the lower activities, thoughts, and behaviors, I know where that will lead me, do I trust with the same degree of faith and certainty that by cooperating with spiritual law, principle, and action that I will be caught up in an upward sweep of of great new revelations, insights, glories, and wonders. And because with God all things are possible, we've proven, all of us individual, to some degree, that we can move down a scale based on not necessarily maliciousness or being deliberate about it, but if we don't cooperate with spiritual law in some way, we get paddled. But if we do cooperate for a long period of time, then we should stir our faith and trust that the greatest dreams and hopes and aspirations of our soul are very much on the way, with at least the certainty that we know that we would be punished for doing the opposite. So with God, all things are possible, and examine in our own heart that by following the law that we shall be duly rewarded. I'll see you tomorrow.